Hello, 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 it's Dolly. Welcome to my channel, Scrappin' on the Go. This process video is for Mix It Media Frenzy with Krista, Kathy, Ronnie Sue, Scrappy Sisters, and Scrappy Kathy, and myself. And every Friday, we bring you our scrap lift of a mixed media layout or sketch. And we are using this one from Prima this Friday. It made me immediately think of my heritage album that I'm putting together of older photographs. I have put together family reunion scrapbooking book and some, photographs, but these are older ones. And so I got out my little kit that I put together, and my papers are mostly from the Yesterday and Today collection, along with coordinating cardstock. And then I added other elements from my stash. And that collection is from Close to My Heart. And I am a consultant, and I'll have that information listed below, but that's it. That's my only plug about that. This is more about this collaboration and us scrap lifting mixed media layouts of all types, okay, from heritage looking ones to ones that are like the real Prima type ones, the more distressed looking ones to the more airy, open looking ones. So anyway, that's what this layout reminded me of. So off to my layout. This is an old photograph of my grandmother, and it was probably taken in the late 40s, early 50s. And it actually is a print, and I could not get the original. I tried to snap a photograph and recreate off of a paper image. It did not work. So I am scrap booking this paper image of my grandmother, whom I am named after. Actually, there are three of us. So my grandmother, my aunt, and myself are all named Dolly. And so when I was growing up, I would always be referred to as Little Dolly, and then my aunt was Middle Dolly, because it would be very comical when we all got together and you have three Dollies in the house. So, all right. So anyway, as you can see, I am just tearing my paper, and I am layering them, and I'm also inking the edges of my paper using the Tim Holtz Distressed ink, either in ground espresso or black soot. And I kind of just alternate that. And you're going to also see me bring in Nuva Embellishing Mousse in the color of, I don't know, these were back in the days that they didn't really make it very easy to read these. It's called Toasted Almond. So you see that in the upper right hand corner. I have this old stamp, and it is a Prima stamp. It's a red Prima stamp, and again, it has been in my collection for years, so I'm sorry, ladies, you are not going to be able to find this or repurchase it. And it's got scripted words on it, and I am using ink from Close to My Heart in the black, and it's just going to give a subtle script in the background. Again, because of this paper photo of my grandmother, I have to be really careful with my background, because the photograph is, kind of got that sepia look to it. That's how it was printed on paper. And so I have to be really careful with my background to keep with that yesterday, today theme, that heritage look. You certainly can take older photographs and use brighter backgrounds, and I've done that, but this album is keeping with that, old, early 1900s look. that's what I'm sticking with. All right, so you can see I got out my mousse and I just put it on some acetate, and I'm just using my finger and smearing. I do not use a brush at all with this technique for this paper, other than for when I do some splatters at the end. Then the next product that I'll be getting out is a metallic acrylic paint in the color chocolate brown, and I picked that up a while ago at Hobby Lobby's, and I know it's still available, and it's Folk Art ink, and I'm sure you can pick it up in other places. So that I'm dabbing that out over there to the right, and I will use that same acrylic paint in the chocolate brown to do my splatters. But right now I'm going to use it to smear around and kind of on top of that mousse, and I will come back again with the mousse and smear it around. Now, what I did do off camera is I used over my photograph, the paper photograph, multimedia matte from Ranger, and that's how you can preserve if all you have is a paper photo that you want to document and you want to preserve that paper, is get some multimedia in a matte finish, take a flat, fairly large paintbrush, and use this matte over the photograph. Let it dry really good, and then put at least another coat. So you should at least put 2 coats. You can put 3, but 2 is plenty. 1 is not enough, just to let you know. All right, so now that I've got my background created, I am bringing in my embellishments. Now I have this old chipboard, which is actually of a tree. And there used to be a company, and I don't know the name of it, but when scrapbooking kind of took a nosedive, they went out of business. But all they used to create is this raw type chipboard. And I told you, if you've been watching my channel, if you haven't, I'll just briefly make it. I used to be all into junk journals and the distressing and taking the raw chipboard pieces and painting them and so forth. And this is my very last piece in my collection. And so I cut off the trunk of it and tucked it into the left of this photograph. I've got an old Prima lady chipboard. Again, I think of my Prima chipboard pieces, I have 3 left, and I have this lady, and then I have a phone and something else. And you know what? For the first time, I may need to go hunting for some of the older chipboard. Now, that acrylic piece that says Roots, I took that acrylic paint and just smeared it on that to give a distressed look. I brought in some small alphas to write out Dolly, so it's Dolly's Roots. From the stickers to the right came from the Yesterday and Today collection, and of course it says Where Life Begins. And then I had these little crosses, which you can turn them sideways and they can become X's. I had some old flowers in my stash and that large jewel, and then up in the right hand corner to the left is like a metal piece that I put on there, and then those vellum leaves again came from Close to My Heart Yesterday and Today collection. And I double matted it, and this layout's complete. I appreciate you all. Make sure you go check out the other ladies. Their links are listed below. Here comes the close-ups. Keep coming back every Friday. Give us a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to all of our channels. And we'll see you next time. Have a fabulous day. Bye.